My girlfriend said, "I'm moving in with Marcus, we're in love," while I was paying for her MBA. I replied, "Understood," and immediately called the school to cancel tuition payments. 48 hours later, she was begging me to reconsider, after learning her new rich boyfriend was actually broke. I'm still processing this, honestly. Tuesday afternoon, I was working from home when Sarah walked in looking nervous but determined. We'd been together 2 years, living in my house for the past 8 months while I paid for her MBA program. The conversation was brief. "David, I need to tell you something," she said, not even sitting down. "I'm in love with Marcus. We've been seeing each other for 3 months. I'm moving in with him this weekend." Marcus, the guy from her study group she'd been spending extra time with. The pieces clicked into place. "I see," I said, keeping my voice level. "When?" "This weekend. I already packed most of my things." She gestured toward 2 suitcases by the door I hadn't noticed. My reply was simple: "Understood." She looked surprised, maybe expecting a fight or tears, but I was already thinking practically. She made her choice. Time to deal with the logistics. After she left to run errands, probably to meet Marcus, I got to work. First call, Northwestern Business School Finance Office. "Hi, this is David Harrison. I need to speak to someone about the payment plan for Sarah Chen's tuition." "One moment, please." The finance director came on. I explained the situation calmly. My name was on all the payment plans as the third-party guarantor. Sarah wasn't married to me, had no legal claim to continued funding. "I need to withdraw from the payment agreement, effective at the end of this semester," I said. "I'll honor current obligations but won't be continuing." "Sir, we'll need 30 days written notice for payment plan changes. However, you can decline to renew for next semester immediately." Perfect. Spring semester was ending in 6 weeks anyway. "I want to formally withdraw from any future payment obligations," I said. Sent the formal withdrawal letter within an hour. Did not copy Sarah, let her find out through official channels. Second call, my lawyer buddy Jake. "David, what's going on?" Explained the situation. He confirmed what I already knew. She had 0 legal claim to my house, my money, or continued support. She wasn't on the mortgage, lease, or any financial documents. Third action, change the locks. She'd given me a key back before leaving, but I wasn't taking chances. By the time she returned that evening, her new reality was waiting. Update 1. 48 hours later. Wednesday morning, Sarah called frantically. "David, I just got a notice from Northwestern about payment arrangements for next semester. What's going on?" "I withdrew from the payment plan. You're on your own for funding going forward. You can't just stop paying. I'm halfway through the program." "Then, this is cruel. We can work something out." I replied once, "No mistake. You chose Marcus. He can handle your education expenses now." Thursday afternoon, the real panic set in. Sarah showed up at my door looking frantic. "David, please, you have to understand. Marcus isn't who I thought he was." I opened the door but didn't invite her in. "Explain." "He said he was starting his own consulting firm, that he had major clients lined up. But David, he lives in a cramped 1-bedroom with a roommate, working gig jobs through apps. He lied about everything." The irony was perfect. She'd left me, the guy actually paying for her MBA, for someone she thought was a successful entrepreneur, who turned out to be barely scraping by. "That sounds like a Marcus problem," I said. "I made a mistake. A huge one. Can we please talk?" We are talking, and the answer is no. The tuition for fall semester is due in 2 months. If I can't show proof of funding, they'll block my registration. I'll have to take a leave of absence. Should have thought about that before moving in with Marcus. She started crying. Real tears, not the manipulative kind. "I have nowhere to go. Marcus told me I can't stay at his place anymore. He said it's too crowded." So the rich boyfriend narrative collapsed within 48 hours. Impressive. "Sarah, you made your choice. You packed your bags, declared your love for another man, and moved out. I'm not your backup plan. But the money I already put into school is your investment, not mine. Going forward, your education is your responsibility." She left. Got a text later that evening from an unknown number. "This is Marcus. You need to work things out with Sarah. She's not my problem." I blocked the number. Update 2. 1 week later. The entitlement brigade arrived in full force. Monday morning, Sarah's mom called. "David, Sarah told me what happened. You can't just abandon her like this. I didn't abandon her, Mrs. Chen. She left me for another man. She made a mistake. She's young, she was confused. You have to help her finish school. I have to do nothing. She's 27, not a child. Her choices, her consequences. That's cold. After everything she's done for you. Like what exactly? Silence. She decorated your house. She picked out throw pillows once, and I paid for them. You're being unreasonable. I'm being logical. Goodbye, Mrs. Chen. Tuesday, Sarah's best friend Amanda started the emotional warfare campaign. Text after text about how heartbroken Sarah was, how she realized she loved me, how Marcus was a manipulative liar who pursued her. My response: she's an adult who made adult choices. She can make adult solutions. Wednesday brought the financial reality check. Sarah emailed me a spreadsheet. Apparently she'd calculated exactly how much she needed to finish her MBA. The number was staggering: $47,000 remaining tuition plus living expenses. Her proposal: I loan her the money, she'd pay me back over 5 years at low interest. My reply: no. Her response: you're destroying my future over a mistake. My counter: you destroyed your future when you chose Marcus over the person funding it. Thursday, the guilt trip intensified. David, I know I hurt you, but please don't let that destroy my career. I'll do anything to make this right. Anything except stay faithful, apparently. That's not fair. Neither is asking me to fund your life after you left me for someone else. Friday brought news through mutual friends. Sarah had to take a leave of absence from Northwestern. She couldn't secure enough private loans to cover the remaining costs, and Marcus's promised financial support evaporated completely. She moved back in with her parents while figuring out her next steps. Update 3. 1 month later. The smear campaign began predictably. Sarah started telling people I was vindictive, that I destroyed her education out of spite. Some mutual friends bought it initially. The ones who mattered asked me directly. I showed them the timeline. Her announcement on Tuesday, my funding withdrawal that same day. She chose Marcus over me and expected me to keep paying for her lifestyle, I explained. That's not spite. That's basic cause and effect. Most reasonable people got it immediately. Then came the legal threat. Sarah's uncle apparently knew a lawyer who sent me a laughably amateur demand letter claiming I had a moral obligation to continue funding her education since I'd created reasonable expectation of support. Jake looked at it and literally laughed out loud. David, this isn't even properly formatted. No court would entertain this. You had no legal obligation to pay her tuition in the first place. You were being generous, not contractually bound. I had Jake send back a formal response explaining why their claim was nonsense and warning against further frivolous threats. Never heard from that uncle's lawyer again. The most satisfying part came through LinkedIn of all places. Marcus posted something about learning life lessons about honesty and authenticity. Classic social media pseudo-wisdom after screwing up his life. Mutual connections confirmed he was doing freelance work when he could find it. Still living with his roommate. The consulting firm, a complete fiction. Sarah, meanwhile, was posting inspirational quotes about temporary setbacks while living in her childhood bedroom and working at her dad's accounting firm. Final update, 3 months later. Life's been peaceful, honestly. Sarah made one final attempt about 6 weeks ago, showed up at my door with a different approach. David, I know I have no right to ask this, but could you at least give me a reference for other programs? Maybe help me transfer my credits somewhere more affordable. Sarah, you cheated on me for 3 months, lied to my face, then expected me to keep funding your life. The answer is no to any form of help. I know I messed up, but no buts. You made your choice. Live with it. She tried one more angle. Don't you want me to succeed? To be happy? I want you to learn that actions have consequences. Beyond that, I don't think about you at all. That was the last I heard from her directly. Through the grapevine, I learned she eventually got accepted back to Northwestern for the following year, but had to take out substantial loans at higher interest rates. She's apparently working full-time while doing the program part-time now, extending her graduation by at least another year. Marcus disappeared from our social circle entirely. Last anyone heard, he moved back to his hometown. As for me, I'm doing well. Started dating again recently. Nothing serious yet, but it feels good to be around people who value honesty and loyalty. The house feels like mine again. I redecorated the living room, got rid of those throw pillows Sarah picked out. Small victories. Most importantly, I learned something valuable. When someone shows you who they really are through their actions, believe them immediately. Don't wait for explanations or apologies. Just protect yourself and move forward. Sarah wanted the excitement of a new relationship while keeping the security I provided. When that plan collapsed, she expected me to absorb the consequences of her choices. Instead, she got to experience the full weight of her decisions. No safety net, no backup plan, no generous boyfriend to fix her mistakes. That's not revenge. That's just reality catching up with someone who thought they could have everything without paying the price. Sometimes the best justice is simply stepping aside and letting people face the natural consequences of their own actions. She made her bed with Marcus. Now she gets to lie in it. Alone.